Music and we're just guiding.
What do you want? I got
I'll let Lazy pick.
Sound like hood stocks. Let me see the first one again. That was it.
I don't go down. Please. Let us know when you're ready, Papa. Yep.
I like the lighting.
Yes. Guess what, guys? Once again, see the background. We got Street Scholars back in action right now. But this is something that we just didn't decide to do. I got my boy Lazy, Mister Untouchable right here. It's not something. Hey, let's do Street Scholars again. Something that you prayed about.
Yeah.
I prayed about. And there's a lot of effort and hard work that goes into podcast, especially like a video podcast with a YouTube and just with JR helping us out. It's a lot goes into it. And I remember Lazy, you were a co-host for Street Scholars.
Yeah.
When we had the Penthouse, right?
I was your second guest. I think after
A little
Steph.
closer.
I think after Steph Lubba, I think she went or somebody went before me.
Okay.
And then I went second, and then from there you asked me to be on there. And
Yeah.
then I did a handful of podcasts with you guys.
And it was pretty good, but you did leave on your own. Mostly I'll get rid of people, but you kind of left on your own just because the content wasn't for you, pretty much.
Yep. I mean, but basically when I joined you, I kind of wanted to, I think it's good. Like me and you, I think we make a good combo because you bring the humor and then I bring the content, or vice versa. You know what I mean? We both can flow good off of each other. And when I seen where Street Scholars was going, and I love doing it with you guys, man. But we're seeing where it started heading. I was like, I gotta jump off. This is where I get off.
I get it. 100%, because some episodes I would do, I'm like, why am I in this conversation for?
Yeah.
And it's so easy for me to do like the punchline. It's even before the show started, I was like saying silly things.
What's funny is I remember I would even drink sometimes just to kind of get in your guys' flow. So I take some shots. I can get on their level, But I don't drink no more. So. But
this is like more of a, so everybody that's watching, this is more of a pilot episode. We'll let you know what we're doing, what we've been up to pretty much. So it's not going to be like all crazy, like a testimony. We have some amazing, I swear, I promise. I was showing Lazy the schedule of people that are going to come on. And I'm excited, and I haven't been this excited for like podcasts and Street Scholars for quite some time, bro. I'm actually like really. I was happy for today.
Yeah,
I'm pretty hyped, and
it's gonna be different too,
And me, you always have these conversations where like you're one of those people where I could vent to, and you'll be kind of brutally honest, and I like venting to Lazy just because I feel like we had the same kind of battles, same temptation, same lifestyle, same background.
Yeah.
And I always said that even on Rocky Nash podcast, I always sprinkle a little bit of Jesus juice on there, as much as I can. But even putting that little things on it, if this was a beer, I thought you were a Christian.
Yeah.
I'll be at Sunday I'll be at Hillsong. Monday I'll be at Sam's Club. Not Sam's Club, but the Sam. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
But I never hit it. I know you're in a walk right now.
Yeah.
You're in a season. I don't like saying seasons because that to me is temporary.
Yeah.
So I know we use that word a lot.
Journey.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, journey.
You're in or a chapter.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, and so we had this meeting, a little junta on the side, and you gotta say, look, bro. I want to do it. I'm excited to do it. I just don't want to get so caught up in some kind of conversation and some topics.
Yeah.
And we had to be in balance out. And I had to tell you, too, okay, I get it. But also, it's not like a whole full-on Bible study either.
Yeah. I think what it is, too, like when it comes to, like, me personally sharing my testimony, whatever, like I did that a lot of times in the beginning. It was real raw and uncut, where I would just put people's names, like family members out there, my mom and everybody, and then afterwards I would have to face them, and then they'd be like, "Oh, why'd you say that?" And I'm just keeping it real. So I just kind of learned from all the podcasts that I've done. You know what I mean?
Going back to Street Scholars, I think it was season 1.
Yeah.
And it was I never done an episode and podcast that never did like good numbers, and we had you come on.
Yeah.
And I believe you brought your dad.
He walked out, dude.
And you brought your dad, and you were and I thank you for being very vulnerable that day and being very honest and truthful.
Yeah.
But you pretty much said like
Put him on blast.
you put your dad on blast, and your dad
He left.
he left the studio.
He left.
And he was kind of angry at you, right? Or
He wasn't angry.
disappointed, or just like
if he was, he never mentioned it.
Okay.
Because I think he's seen me enough, and he knows my testimony, and we've had a lot of deep talks, man. Because we needed a lot of healing, but it was God ultimately that brought us back together. And now he's a really good, vital part of my life. People may not agree with it, but
I think back in those Street Scholars, we had like black hair on our beards, huh?
Before and now.
Yeah, you like Moses after he went up the hill.
Yeah, came out with the 10 Commandments.
40 years later,
right?
But I know your journey, and it's not like an interview, a lazy interview. We're just kind of talking about it. I know you're in a different chapter of your life, and one of your things, your reputation. I'm gonna be like, we'll straight be blunt on this show, and you're gonna see a lot of bluntness on here. Even I always thought this is where I'm going with this. I always thought it was unfair. I had different co-hosts on there, and on Street Scholar, we had a season where real people, real stories, and people would come on the podcast, and they would like be very vulnerable, start crying. A girl come on and talk about her mom got shot in front of her, and her mom died, and people are drug problems, and they went to jail, and they're being very vulnerable. They're putting it all out. They're putting it out there, and then we have coasts that they want to protect this image. Yeah. Oh, I'm this cool dude or this chick, and I have no problem. And I always thought it wasn't fair for a guest to come on, and then Cole's kind of like not be vulnerable as well. Yeah. So I want to I'm always been vulnerable and throwing out there. I know you always been the same way, so I think it's only fair. But you had you have a baby, a kid now. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have kids that age either, right?
Yeah, pretty much like Abraham when he had his.
Well, not that old, but but like half of that age.
Yeah, my son is. He just turned 2, December 22nd. Last December, so he's 2. Yeah, he's in his terrible 2s right now.
And when you found out, she's your girl, or she was your girl at the time, or?
Yeah, we were dating. And
she brought you the news, and you were like,
We were actually in Chicago. We were out there for a tattoo convention, and she flew out there, and I remember that day clearly. We had got into it because I didn't want her to, take an Uber to the show. I go, look, I'm already over. I'm cleaning up. I'll walk. I'm gonna meet you at the hotel. And while I was making my way out, everybody stopping you. Oh, what's taking you so long? And finally, we got into it. So we get back to the hotel later. Well, I go to the room, and I'm tired. So she's downstairs drinking. She comes up, and my son was conceived that night. You know what I mean? Out of anger. But, yeah, we come back from the convention, and she's like, oh, I think I'm pregnant. What's crazy about it is that she took a day after pill. Is that Plan B?
Been there.
And she took one, and she said that she just felt really sick because, she was trying to protect herself, whatever. And then I can't remember, maybe a couple weeks later, that's when she had found out she was pregnant.
And she broke the news to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what were you doing? And what's your reaction, bro? Because at this time in your life, you weren't trying to have another kid, right? Because at this time you just you're a grandpa at this point.
Yeah, I'm a grandpa. I already have 4 daughters. And I thought, the first thing I thought was like, oh, it's going to be another girl, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love my daughters.
I always feel like players get daughters.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I have a son, by the way, so I'm not even a player, like gentleman, classy guy over
Maybe
here.
when you had them.
Yeah.
Nah,
but yeah, I always feel like God always gave like players daughters.
I've heard that, and then I've heard, too, that when you're hard, God gives you daughters to soften you. Not like that kind of hard.
I'm sorry.
when you're cold, when you're kind of cold-blooded, that God gives you girls to soften you up, and when you have sons, it's to give you more strength. Because I know that situation was true for my mom, because when we were going through it, God gave her 6 sons.
Wow.
Yeah. So she needed all that strength.
And were you like, was there even a conversation where like, are you gonna keep the baby?
Well, okay, this is the way it is with me. With all my kids, I've always in the past, I never got put in a predicament where it was my choice. So this was actually the first time where she came to me and she's like, hey, like, I have an appointment right now today to go get rid of it. And what do you think? This is so crazy. And this, God is my witness. She came in my room and she started telling me that. And when she brought up the subject, I was kind of taken off guard because she was actually giving me the power to say yes or no.
But were you assuming that she's going to?
I was assuming she was going to do it on her own. That she wasn't going to. Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was assuming. Yeah. So I was like, do what you got, whatever you got to do.
It wasn't even cross your mind, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, she's going to abort it and it's fine.
I wasn't like, I was like, whatever, because we didn't know what it was going to be yet. So when she asked me, all of a sudden I started feeling nauseous.
Pressure.
I felt sick.
Wow.
I felt nauseous from my sick to my stomach, and I couldn't even be in the same room. I had to walk outside and get some fresh air.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I go, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. Whatever. You just do whatever you got to do. I'll support you either way. But I can't tell you to go do that because contrary to what I believe in. I wasn't serving God at that time, mind you, but I still had a conviction. Yeah. So, you know, she didn't end up going to that appointment. She didn't go that day. But so we're like, oh, so then we made an announcement to our friends. I remember we went out one night at a bar. We had a bar. It told everybody the bar. Everybody bought us shots, whatever. So then we got into it like several months later, and she's like, you know what? We weren't talking, and she had made another appointment on her own to go abort the baby. So my son has escaped death 3-4 times, bro.
Wow.
Well, Plan B, pill, tube, abortion. She went, and they told her you got to come back because she had a bladder infection or something. So they had to get rid of that, and she was going to go back in a week. But in that period of time, they had emailed her and told her that she was having a boy. And she didn't want to know the race, the sex. I mean, the sex.
The
She didn't want. I want to know the race now. I want to make sure.
Right?
Nah,
You were in Chicago.
So I wanted to make sure that. I mean, I didn't want to make sure. I didn't want to know the sex neither.
No.
I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't because you know if she's gonna do that, you don't want to know.
But at the same time, like when you even, you know, saying abort, like when you're the gender involved, then you're putting a personality, you're putting a character, and you're putting an actual person to that baby. Now it makes it even worse.
So we weren't talking at this time, but I knew through a mutual party that she was doing. She went that day. I was like, damn, she's really going. Like, yeah. So she went. I thought she did it. So then, like 2-3 in the morning, I'm at home and I'm just chilling, and then I get a phone call or a text, and I look at the text, and it's the the paperwork showing that it was a boy.
She sent to you?
Yes.
She knew what she was doing.
She sent me the freaking paperwork, and I looked. I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was in shock, bro. I was like, no. I go, well, you're not getting rid of it. I'm sorry. Like, you know, we're going to have it.
If it was a girl, for sure.
Not going to say that,
no, I'm kidding. No, I'm just, but it's a boy. You want a boy. Every father wants a boy.
I thought I was going to die a girl dad, bro. Yeah. Like, I never thought in my wildest.
And you're okay with it?
Yeah, I was cool. I mean, I just didn't know. I didn't picture. You know when you can't picture something and then it happens? That's the way I was. You know, it was out of my view. It was out of my vision. God threw a curve.
Decided, you guys decided.
We decided.
To keep
it brought us back together.
It did.
Yeah.
So I know, but it wasn't happily ever after yet. Because you still had your demons.
I still had my ways, man.
Your ways.
I was stuck in my ways.
And your ways are what?
At that time, I was just a womanizer, man. I was a tattoo artist. That comes with a lot if you let it.
It's a rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah, pretty
really
much.
is.
A rock star, man. I've been doing it for over 20 years, and it just becomes like natural to you. You know, become natural to go out, party. My house, I lived alone, so like the after hours of my pad.
I've been in after hours house many times.
A lot of people have. Yeah. People see me sometimes I run into people like, hey, we partied at your pad. We went skinny dipping. Everybody went skinny dipping your pad after.
Speaking of like, Sammy Sam, who's gonna be a guest on the show, I think next week or whenever.
Big Sam.
I was talking to this chick, and I talked about Rocky Nash podcast a long time ago, you know, and I was talking to this chick, and I told her, hey, meet me at my boy Sammy Sam's pad, and I shot her the address, because we're going to go out all together.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, I know where Sammy Sam lives. Red flag. Like, red flag. If you've been at Sammy Sam's paddle, like, we'll go out, but we're not, it's going to end right there. So, if same thing, like, so you were like a Sammy Sam pad kind of, where if a girl told me, oh, I know where Lazy lives, I'm like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were that pad.
For sure.
Like almost like a frat house.
Yeah, I mean, I was just living I thought at the time it was my best life.
It's definitely your best life.
No, I was just lost, you know what I mean? And I was living life to the full. I had the money, I had the house, I had whatever you name it, you know what I mean? And party bus, you know what I mean? Like everything, you know.
All the toys.
Made my own, made my own schedule, you know what I mean? So I was just like, it was part of the package, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, I only want to go as far as you want to go, as far as content-wise and so on, you know. You had your baby, and you're still with your lady.
Yeah, we were trying to work it out, you know what I mean? Like, she was pregnant. She was living at her brother's pad at the time, and I was staying at my pad, and, you know, we were just in communication. I don't want to say it was strong, but we were in communication and trying to just, you know, just be respectful. Okay. And then my son came, and then when he came, like, you know, it was like, wow, like this is really happening, you know. And then once he came, she got a little bit closer. You know, I was helping her with, you know, trying to help her, and we were having some complications because her kids and all that stuff. Her kids are still younger. She has two other kids, and then yeah, then I something happened. Yeah, something
Are
happened.
we allowed to say it or not?
Yeah.
Skip it.
No.
So from what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong,
I think it needs to be told because it was a vital
it's
part
part of your
of
testimony.
my turning point.
So I know, and I don't blame you for like, cause you know you have your ways, and we'll get into lifestyles and addictions and
Yeah.
the whole thing. But you with your chick, you have your kid, but you're still secretly living a different lifestyle of what you know, and you were being with other girls.
That's all I knew.
That's all you know.
That's all I knew was to have a lineup of females. You know what I mean? And I had my own house, so you know
It's a bachelor pad.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, living that best. You know, like I said, I thought it was the best life, and you know, my mind was twisted back then. I thought it was a blessing. I thought like, you know, a lot of these other dudes can't pull chicks the way that you know me and some of the
It's a
homies
flex.
could. Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna do it till I can't do it no more. You know, and I did it. You know, I mean, I was living that life, that lifestyle, and she came in, and it was just like a curveball, man. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
My situation, it wasn't planned. We didn't ask. I didn't, you know.
Way to ruin the plans.
Party pooper now.
What a cock blocker.
Yeah. So yeah, I was still I was trying to play the part like I did with my other relationships, you know, like
Yeah, all of them.
yeah, until they get, you know, to you're exposed, you know, and then once they figure you out, it's like, all right, time to move on to the next one.
But you
know?
were so bad, even prior to that, one of your exes left cameras in your house, right?
Yeah, she left
Talk about trust issues, and she wasn't wrong.
nah. She left. No, what she did is she left the camera, but she put it under the bed, but so she could tune in to our conversation whenever she wanted
Crazy.
to. You know what's funny is I taught her that because her sister was living at her pad at the time, and she didn't want she didn't know that
Yeah.
her sister. She walked in, and her sister was bringing dudes to the pad because she was staying with me during COVID. So I go, why don't you put a ring camera there so that way you can know everybody who's in and out of your house. So then she
Wow. Oh Lord.
she reversed it on me.
Not in a good way either.
Yeah. She did that to me, and you know. It is what it is.
So but your baby's mom.
Damn,
right
how'd you
now-
remember that?
Got dirt on you, fool. Got dirt on you, dog.
Damn.
And on podcast, I remember good stories like that.
Yeah.
And so this time, you being a sweet angel at your house with the girl, and she walked in on you.
So what happened was, yeah, my son was probably, I want to say he wasn't a year, he was like 10 months. We had just got back from Rome. I took my son to Rome.
Wow.
I did a tattoo convention out there. We had just got back, maybe not even a week yet. Maybe that week we got back, and maybe they got back on Monday. I think this happened on a Wednesday or Thursday, and she had left to work. My girl left to work, and you know, I was making plans in my head of what I wanted, but then I was second doubting myself. It was crazy, and I went ahead and I needed to be somewhere, so I had to do whatever I was gonna do quick. I had to go pick up my daughter, and I called somebody over, and that somebody came, and like my son was asleep in the room.
Oh, your son was there.
Yeah, he was in the room though. He was asleep. So I was like, all right, well, you know, the girls they knew the deal already.
Yeah.
You know, not like I was hiding anything from them. They knew what was up. You know, at this particular point in time, and sure enough, we're chilling. We're like starting to, you know, get into it, whatever. Like, you know, and all of a sudden, when we're in the living room, and I'm on the couch, you know, and all of a sudden I just hear. So she knew my code.
Yeah.
So I hear the code. Somebody trying to open the code, but I think she got it wrong the first time, so the door didn't open. So she did it again. By that time, I go, oh shoot! The only people that know my code is my dad and her. And she had just left. She was only gone like about an hour, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, we ran. I ran to the room, like, you know, and she ran to the room.
You already knew who it was.
I already knew, so I went and I locked the door, and then she, you know, she came busting in, and she ran straight to the room, started banging. My son was asleep. I told her, just go out the back, you know, just get out, like go over the wall, go, you know. But we were so much in a rush and a panic. I think she had left everything, you know. So my girl's over trying to kick the. So anyways, what happened? They ended up getting an altercation because she went on the front, caught her
Oh, they fought.
Yeah, yeah, my neighbor's driveway. So I'm over here like, what do I? My son's waking up, and they're fighting in the front. So I'm running back and forth, and I'm trying to, like, what do I do? You know, they're on a lock.
Yeah.
You know, girls get in a lock where just hair, all
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dang, like I'm busted. You know, like this relationship's over. It's done. You know.
Were you concerned about relationship? Like, did you
I
really
think,
love her at that point?
Yeah, I loved her, but I don't think I was like deep in love with her yet. I think it was the beginning stages. Like I liked her. You know when you have a bunch of girls, but there's one that you like that sticks out the
You have a
most,
favorite.
and you're like, yeah, favorite, and then you're like, you know what? I think like if it comes down to it, that's gonna be the one I'm gonna keep around. The other ones you rotate, and I don't mean to sound cold or malicious.
Yeah.
Sorry, women. I'm not trying to be like disrespectful. I'm just because I'm not like that no more. Thank God. You know what I mean? But that's what mentality is that you have your favorites. You know what I mean? Those are your pillars. You know.
I'm pretty
you know
sure
what I mean?
girls have favorites too.
Yeah, for sure.
Be honest. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, yeah. So that ended up happening, and they finally separated, and then everybody left, and she grabbed my son and she took off. She left, and I was sitting there just like, what just happened? You know?
Did the other girl leave too right away?
Yeah. She left too. You know, I was just sitting there in shock. I couldn't believe what had just happened, what transpired. She's gone. My son's gone.
Yeah.
My girl's gone.
Now you're down to like roster number 3. Who's on number 3 speed dial?
Yeah, no, I just started calling like my neighbor. Like my boy lives right next door to me, so I called him. You know, you call your closest friends to let them know what just happened because you're just like, he came over. We're rapping and stuff. But anyways, fast forward, like she didn't let me see my son for like a good month and a half. And in that time,
girls do that, don't they? Use a kid as a weapon. Unfortunately, they do.
She went all out, bro. She went to child support and got a restraining order on me, emergency one. She filed. I messed up because before that she had filed for full custody and I never responded because we started working it out. So they gave her, by default, they gave her freaking full custody.
Yeah.
So she didn't even have to let me see my son until we went to court. So I went immediately, like I went and I filed so I can fight for custody, emergency, and all that stuff like that. But in those 45 days that I had away was some of the worst 45 days of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
It was like going through like through court again, like far as like even your criminal record, like when you're like fighting the case.
Yeah. Yeah, like because you're sitting there and it's crazy because before getting caught, like I would have, if just say I didn't get caught, like if she would have gone, I would have used that as an opportunity to do whatever I wanted to do, and I didn't even want to do that.
So you're going to court, you can't see your son.
Yeah.
You're in a dark place, pretty
order.
much. You're in a bad place. I'll say it. And then
bad place.
And usually, even non-believers do this. When you're in a dark place and you're in a bad place, I mean, there's only one person to cry out to, and you start bargaining, and you start pleading, and you go, God, like, and you God, like, man, if you get me out of this one, or if you give me my son back.
You know what?
And
yeah.
did you start kind of doing that?
I think more than anything, I realized how shady I was.
Well, I could have told you.
Thanks, Rocky.
Yeah.
But you're in denial and you just feel like you're living your best life, or you're just doing. You're going about you. You're just doing. All your homies around you are the same way. Your circle is like that. You know what I mean? So to me, I wasn't feel like I was doing anything out of the norm.
It was normal to you.
Yeah, it was normal.
Yeah.
But just the fact that my son, I couldn't see my newborn, like my Tim. I had already gotten attached to him. He got attached to me.
Yeah.
So that was killing me the most. So what happened was I finally go to court and they give me, visitation. They give visitation with somebody there watching you.
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. Like you're like a pervert.
Yeah. And I was like, I felt like a minor victory right there, because I felt like at least I get to see my son. But the only thing was, it felt like something was missing. So even after getting my son and all that stuff, my mom would have to go with me, and then. And then I'd have to pick him up from his godparents, and so even I felt like a minor victory, and that only lasted maybe like a week or less, because then I would get my son, it would just be me and him.
Yeah.
And then,
it's hard to bond with everybody there.
Yeah. It was really, well, it would just be my mom. She would leave, but it just felt sad. It felt like it wasn't a full circle. You know what I mean? Like it felt like some part of the circle was missing. You know what I mean? So then I made it. Then that's when like it really started hitting me even more. because at that point it was me against her, like, you know, fighting against her. But then I got my son, so now it isn't about me and her.
At this point, it's really toxic. At this point, or not so much.
No. We're not communication. It wasn't toxic. It was just I was hurting. I was cut. I didn't want to party. I didn't want to freaking call anybody else to console me.
At what point did you cry out to God for help?
At that point.
At that point.
At that point. Yeah. At that point, I I knew that I knew I had to make changes.
He wanted you to make changes.
Yeah. Well, I think he allowed that situation. I made that situation happen, but I think that he allowed me to go through that so I could realize, you know, what I was doing, because it was just a pattern.
You think God wanted that storm to happen?
I think sometimes it has to happen.
Yes, 100%.
I think sometimes that's the only thing that wakes us up. You know, when situations like that arise, you know, that.
I mean, why would you change if you never got caught?
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless.
Exactly.
You know?
You know, it's like, yeah, like when you go to jail, that's when you have time to reflect and think about it, or you get caught in a situation like what I did, you got to reflect on your actions, and then you got to make a decision. You know, you're going to continue to go on that way, and a lot of people do it, more power to them, but I chose not to.
So what'd you tell God?
Oh, man, I you know what, I prayed against my own self. I had to. What I mean by that is when I prayed, my prayer was, God, because my body still wants to do those sins, but my spirit doesn't. You know, I was like Paul, I was conflicting with myself. You know, I was battling within my own demons, my own self. So my prayer was, because my mind was saying, like, you know, when you stop, later on, you're going to call somebody over here tonight. But my spirit was saying, I don't want that no more. I don't want to be that person no more. I've been that person for a long time, and that person has been dominating my life and has been ruling me for a very long time, and I don't want to give him that. I felt like I was a prisoner of my own self.
Wow.
So with my prayer, like, it was hard to do. It was weird. It was like I was praying against myself. You know what I mean? Because like I said, my mind was telling me one thing, but my spirit was saying, pray for this.
You're your biggest enemy at that point.
Bro, it's like a battle within. But I literally got on my face. I didn't get on my knees. I would get on my face.
Wow.
And I would pray, because in the Bible it says the lowest form of humility is on your face. That's what the prophets would do when they would come to God and repent, or they would come and cry out to the Lord. You know? That's how desperate I was for change.
And you told God, like, you weren't just saying, like, God, give me my son back, give me my girl back. Like, you're saying, like, God changed me.
Yeah. No, my initial prayer was
because if you would have just got him back on your own, you would have ruined it again.
I would have probably, I would have got comfortable.
No, you would have kept on going to what you know, and you would have ruined it.
You know what's crazy is that the children of Israel, when they would, God would forgive them, that's what would happen. They would go right back to their sin, serving other gods, 100%. And they would create, you know, it's like, you know, so, you know, I knew that it was like a cleansing, you know what I mean? It was like a refining, you know, my spirit, my soul was being refined, and I knew God was in control. So, like, I had experience with the Lord, a lot of experience with the Lord, but, you know, like a lot of us, we turn our face, turn away from God sometimes, you know?
Yeah. And how did you get her back?
So, it didn't happen overnight, man. Yeah. It was a slow process.
Sometimes it takes 400 years, like the Bible. I'm like, come on, God, 400 years?
In the desert?
Yeah.
Nah, to be honest with you, I started getting involved with church, man. I started going back to church. So Sunday was church, and then I would go to Bible study on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I would have church, and then Friday I would go to prayer group. Jeez. And then Tuesday mornings I would go to the men's home and go sit in with one of the pastors would speak. So I was just trying to get as much as I could, and then every morning I would just listen to Joyce Myers a lot. She was my favorite.
She's good.
Yeah. I would listen to her a lot, and then I would just have worship music on all day. Like, no matter what, it was always just feeding my soul. And then sometimes I would have my days, you know what I mean? And I would just, like, somebody was there with me, I could come on, we're gonna pray right now.
Yeah.
And God will give me my breakthroughs. And my leaders would just tell me, because she hated me at this point. She hated me. You know, I'm talking about the word hate, like the fullest form. The leaders would just say, just keep doing what you're doing. They didn't give me the hope of her coming back, because I knew that they didn't know. They would just tell me, just keep doing what you're doing. Because at first, when you start making the changes,
putting the work in,
you're not going to see the results right away. It's like when you go to the gym, you're not going to see a difference right away. But you just got to keep doing what you're doing, even though you don't see the results. Yeah. And that's what I did.
And then even now, I'll fast forward. You got her back.
Yeah.
You got your family back.
Yeah.
She lives with you. Your son lives with you. She still
has her moments.
And you can't blame her.
No.
She still doesn't really trust you. She does, but with the leash on.
Yeah. Well, it's getting better now. Like, in the beginning, it was hell because...
Is it irritating for you? Because you're all, I'm doing good.
Bro, it's beyond irritating. It's frustrating.
There you go.
So what happened was, we, you know, like, I stopped drinking because of it. I stopped drinking for several reasons. One, because I realized that, I have my strikes already. I can't get no more strikes. So I didn't want to take that risk of doing something stupid. A situation happened on my birthday a while back. I don't really want to get into, but I lost control, and everybody was at my house, and everybody lost control. It was a crazy night because there was a lot of liquor involved.
Well, a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
We'll talk about some another time.
So from that, it was 2 years ago from February of this year that I hadn't drank. So that was one thing that I knew I had to get rid of. And that was like one of the first things to go. And then she kept drinking. So she would have her episodes where it was a trigger. She would drink. And one time, I don't blame her. She attacked me. You know what I mean? Like I was dry. She
attacked you?
The enemy kind of like deceived her into thinking. So I uploaded I lost my what is it called when you iCloud? And they updated. No, iCloud. iCloud updated for 3 years ago. My messages.
Yeah.
So she was going through my phone. We're coming back from
the devil's a liar,
bro. It was the enemy all day. But
Lord.
she was under the influence. She was intoxicated. We're driving home. We're almost at home, and she looks at my phone, and because I had music playing, she looked at my texts, and it was between one of my boys, and I had hit him a video, and she seen it, and it was the same. It was a month before the month we were in.
Oh, wow.
So she thought it was like from last month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was 3 years ago.
Wow.
So she didn't ask no questions. She just took flight.
Full bop time.
Yeah, and I was driving, and she jumped out of the car, that whole deal, jumped in another car, and it was crazy. So that was one incident. I'm not trying to shame her. She had every right to be and feel the way she did. I created that. I made my bed.
I mean, I don't think any girl should put hands on a dude.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, when you're drunk, though, it makes you do stupid things that you don't do. I did so many stupid things. That's why I stopped. Mm-hmm. So there was another incident where, I don't want to get back into this, but the cops were involved.
Now let's throw her under the bus. Let's do it.
No, but the cops were involved, and this was the one that, because she thought they were going to take me.
Oh.
And they didn't.
They
took her.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was trying to just defend myself. Yeah, I was sober. I took off, though, before the cops got there. It was like 3 in the morning,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I'm on the run, bro.
You already know, like, you just for you.
I took off, bro, because she was going to go have a drink with her friend, birthday party. I let her go ahead. And she stood, and she stayed longer than she anticipated to, because sin will keep you longer than you want to stay, and it'll make you do things you don't want to do. So she ended up staying longer, and then by the time she realized it was already like 2 in the morning, and it was just she came home and wanted to grab her kids and leave, and I didn't let her because she was drunk.
Yeah, of course not.
And then that's when the cops came, and then I left, and the cops said, "You need to come back and get your son, because if not, we're going to call Children's Services. Wow. She's going to jail." And I was like, okay. And I came back, and they took her, but I think that's what God used. God had to do that to humble her, He used that, and that's when she stopped drinking.
And then she was a bartender, right?
Yeah.
Was it hard for you because you're on this you're on this walk, and you're on this journey, and just because you're on that walk and journey doesn't mean like she's on the same journey as you are.
I knew that I had to get my family back to God. I knew that if it was gonna work, or if I wanted this to work, that the only way that this was gonna work is with me serving the Lord, and then her eventually following. But I didn't know if she was going to follow, so that was a risk and a gamble that I had to take. If she didn't want to,
you're prepared for it too.
Yeah, I was prepared. And if she didn't want to follow, then I was fine with it. But at least I could say that I tried. Yeah. At least I could say that I gave my 110% to it, and I have, and I still am. But she initially would just watch me, and she would mock me, and it was good though, because it made me be more solid. I knew that she was my biggest critic. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be a witness to her. I had to be on my P's and Q's. I had to, I was living with my biggest judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I did, man, and it pushed me, and yeah.
And then right now, and
God used her.
And going back to where saying like, and I'm glad you had your family back, but I know.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Today.
I wouldn't say
we got a situation today.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say every day is a struggle.
No.
But
it's less now, thank God.
Yeah, but at the same time, because, and I don't think, and this is what I want to say, I don't think people really understand. And like you live this lifestyle, and you have this image, and even like you're a tattoo artist, and all you know is waking up, checking DMs. Yeah. What girl I'm gonna get at today?
Yeah.
What girl I'm gonna try to like come to the pad, and I live a lifestyle like, man, last 20 something years. That's all I know, and that's all I've done. Where not that it's an addiction.
It's an
but
addiction, bro.
Would you say it's addiction?
It's an addiction.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it.
But it's definitely like a habit. Like this is all I know. And even like when I got married, and people go, "Damn, you got married quick." Like that was, I didn't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a switch. Like I met this girl, I love her, we got married.
I feel like you did it the right way. I feel like I was tripping out when you got married.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we didn't even.
Yeah, you didn't have sex.
Yeah, we weren't having sex when we got married.
That's crazy.
And we gave the relationship to God, and I prayed, and I promised I prayed, and it was like I let it be confirmation, like is she the one?
Mm-hmm.
And she did the same thing, and we dedicated not having sex just to have a healthy thing. But all that being said, I'm just so used to a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
I really was, and not to say like I wake, oh my God, I wish I could DM this chick. Or,
but did you think about it before you did that? Did you already you had because I know you guys were together for a while, then you broke up, and then you guys go back together again. So you were like kind of hesitant at first, or what?
No, like I wanted to marry her. Yeah. Like I felt like where I was in my life,
it was hard.
I've done it. Like I found girls.
That's what I feel.
I know. After I've been with so many girls, and to me, it wasn't being with the girl. It was a hunt. Not to be all cheesy or whatever. Yeah, like, and once even some girls I would get at.
It's a game.
Once I know I could get her, like, oh yeah, I'll meet you Friday at this bar. Okay, cool. Friday comes up, I'm good. I don't want to take you out. Like, I'm kind of good with this. And it was the chase.
Well, you know what's crazy is that I a lot of my homies.
Do you miss a chase?
No, not no more. Not no more. I did it. Like you said, I lived it already.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, Friday night comes around, Saturday night comes around, like, I'm cool. Yeah. I'm cool at home. I'm cool with my son. I'm cool waking up.
You're probably saving money, too.
So, oh, yeah, big time, bro.
You're saving money, bro.
Especially right now. Mm-hmm. But what I realize is there's no reward in that.
No.
There's no reward in getting the most females or being like the biggest partier, like having everybody. There's no reward in that.
You don't get no trophy.
There's no. Yeah. There's nothing to feel good about.
I always go back.
There's no honor.
I always go back to Solomon in the Bible where he has 700 wives.
Yeah.
He has all the money in the world. Nice castle, pretty much. It describes how it was built and what it's built of.
Yeah.
Even like his silverware and it was just everything he had was amazing, and he was like the smartest dude in the world. Mm-hmm. And he had everything, but it says that he couldn't enjoy those things anymore. Mm-hmm. He says I have all these girls, all this money, and I can't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
And he felt empty without pretty much God.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like even with like celebrities and all these rich people, like they have all these drugs, they have these money, they have these chicks,
so
and
depressed.
they end up depressed and suicidal, and and there's emptiness in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I feel at that point, so I was in a point in my life where I felt empty. I don't care how many girls are around me, how many homies are around me, and beer and bars. I just felt empty, and I was always that uncle. And my brothers are married.
Yeah,
my parents.
You come from a family.
And I come from a family.
Yeah.
I was always that single uncle at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
And it just felt like,
you're the creep.
Man, straight up. And it was funny at first. I mean, it was funny. My uncles called me Uncle Pimp Daddy when they were younger. Was Uncle Pimp Daddy? And they think it's funny. Oh, cool. But after a while, like you watch your next thing, you're like, man, my uncle's like, what a piece of shit. You guys still be with the whole. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta grow up something like
I think there's a scripture that puts it well. It says that when you were a child, you thought like a child, you spoke like a child, and you behaved like a child. But when you became a man, you left childish ways behind.
Yes.
And I think that's probably what happened with me and you, because we realized, like, you know what, like those are things they used to appeal to us. They used to we used to like, that was our everything. That was our challenge. But I think when you reach a certain age, if you're still like that, then you ain't ever grown up. You haven't matured. You know what I mean?
Were you ever scared that you were gonna grow up, or did you even think that way? You thought you were winning.
I thought I was gonna stay that way, bro.
But did you ever feel like? Because I felt empty. I said, I was a season where I already knew, like, man, like, if I didn't meet my wife, I was at a point where, like, I wanted, and I would pray to God, like let me meet somebody.
Oh, so you wanted that?
No, I did want it.
Wow.
So I prayed, like I've been looking all this time for myself, and obviously I don't know how to pick them.
But you knew you had to change you, though, right? You knew that there had to be a change in your life in order to get that.
See, I didn't change. It took like my wife didn't change me. I changed to get my wife. So when I met her, I knew she has standards, and I knew she doesn't play. There's no BSing with her. And I know if I fool around, I do this and that, then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
There's no second chances.
So
I knew, like, if I wanted this woman who's been through a lot and a lot of testimony on her side, she wasn't playing for games. Like, you know what I mean? She's not playing games.
Yeah.
So I know to keep this woman, and she's a woman of God, that I can't be like, oh, funny Rocky with the cheesy jokes and getting like, you know, like, she don't think, like, believe it or not, some chicks think it's cool to be with a dude that gets multiple chicks. Oh, like, dude, this guy's a player. Let me get with this dude. Like, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
They want to know what's so appealing about this dude.
It's like, you know, I'll go like, if you see me with a picture with the girl, the girl go, oh, like, damn, this guy gets girls. Maybe I should be one of his girls. It's silly. Yeah. But I knew she wasn't like that. Like, she didn't find that appealing. So, like, I always say, like, a girl's not gonna change you. But a good girl, like my brother, even my brother Steve, you know my brother Steven, like, he was, you know, and it's not like his wife changed him, but he wanted change for his wife. You got to change yourself, just like you change yourself to get your family. You know what I mean? You got to change yourself. But your son and your girl motivated you to change yourself.
Yeah, you know what? The scripture God gave me when my son came in, I didn't understand it at the time, but he gave it to me, and like as time went on, it made more sense. It says, greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Jeez. You know what I mean? And what that way I interpret it is like you can't show your loved ones more love by dying to yourself. You know, like we gotta die. Like that's what Jesus called us to do. He called us to live for him, but he called us to die to our own selfish ways, to our own selfish desires, our goals. So I had that old Jaime, whatever you know me as, had to die. Like literally die. It's hard to die. You know, when somebody's dying or somebody's being killed, they're gonna resist and they're gonna kick and they're gonna do everything they can to try to stay alive. It's the same thing with the flesh. Yeah. You know, when God calls you to die, it's not easy to die. But every day we gotta die to ourselves. And that's what I had to do. I literally had to put myself, carry my cross and die, because I was living a certain way for 25 years. And that had to come to a halt if I wanted to have my family.
It's hard because I mean, you talked about this before, like, the lazy, you know, it could be a street reputation or Mister Untouchable, like whatever it is. That name carries something. Yeah, it holds something, and that name that you created was a lot of work. Not to be like all weird about it, but like I created this name. Yeah, like lazy. You built a name for yourself. Lazy carries some kind of weight in the streets or with ladies or whatever it is. So you worked to keep that, like, we think it's a good name, and you work to keep this name up and so on. And so to kill that person, go, man, I worked 25 years to get this reputation, and you want me to kill this dude? Yeah. Like, and so it's not the easiest thing.
No, and you know what's crazy is, like, I had to go, like, kind of like just put myself on the shelf for a while and let God just build me up. And I didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to be I didn't even stop going to events, stop going to You're Not Down, stop going to car shows. You know, all those places that I used to hang out, I had to stop going to those places because I was allowing God time to work on me, to fix me, you know what I mean? Because I had done a lot of damage to myself, you know what I mean? I had to go back to the drawing board, like literally, you know what I mean, and unlearn a lot of things, you know what I mean? But you know what's awesome about it is that I've still been able to use that influence, but in a positive way now.
And I love the word you said, unlearn. I use that a lot. It's not about learning things. Or like, I need to unlearn these things. Yeah. Like, even like the child, your uncles teach you things, or your homies teach you things, and you think like, oh, this older homie told me this is the right way. Go, bro, like, tripping. Like, it's not the right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta unlearn things. So yeah, man. I just like, I know a lot of homies go through the same thing, and that's what they want the podcast be about, like relatable issues, topics. Even when we have guests come on, you can relate to this guy's stories or this girl's story or whatever, and that's what I want. You always say something about the meat and the bones. I always get it wrong. I don't want to say it because I always make it sound like
eat the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah, I say it in an accidentally gay way.
There's one thing that I do want to highlight here is that in the world, people will say, yeah, once you cross that line of disrespect, there's no coming back in a relationship. Or once you guys put hands on each other, or once you disrespect each other. In the world, what does the Bible say? Without God, it's impossible. With God, all things are possible.
Yes.
You know, like I'm a witness to that because God has restored my relationship, and he's giving me another chance at, being able to have a family. You know what I mean? And it was only with God. There's no way that would die because there's triggers. I literally had to go to therapy, and she had to go to therapy.
Oh, you went to therapy?
Yeah, I went to therapy for like 6 months because I wanted to know why I was like that, and I come to find out like
childhood trauma.
No, yeah, that because we have insecurities. Where your father leaves or whatever, and you try to fill that void. You're looking for love. You know what I mean? You're trying to fill that void. You know what I mean? But also just things that I held on to. They say that when you come to the Lord, that He deals with your spirit, He deals with your soul, but your mind is sometimes could still be unsaved. You know what I mean? And there still could be things in the back of your head that you need to release to the Lord.
See, it's funny because I listen to Carl Lentz. I don't know who Carl Lentz is.
Yeah.
He's ex Hillsong
I know
pastor, and he got caught cheating on his wife, and he has his podcast out. It's called Lights Out or whatever. And he's back with his wife, and his podcast turned into this big old marriage counseling thing, and it's cool. A lot of people say, "I don't want to listen to you. You're a cheater." Like what? I'm not taking marital advice from this dude. This guy's a creep, and he would never change being cut. But what I'm saying is, because I heard you say therapy and trauma and things like that. So when I listen to him, like, and I'm glad you're bringing it up because maybe I need to understand it more. And I'm not gonna say, "Oh, yeah, it's cool." Like, no, like, because I don't understand that part because this dude got caught cheating, and he uses his childhood trauma as an excuse why he cheated on his wife. And he goes, "Well, I went to therapy." That's what he talks. I went to therapy, and I got molested when I was young, which is horrific. Like, I get it, like, and he said, I got molested when I was young, and I don't know, I had all these childhood trauma that I never released, and I never talked about, and that led me to cheating because I was fighting my own things. And my thing is, I don't get it because you still know God, you still know right from wrong.
You still had a choice.
And I think he used, I think he used it as an excuse. Okay, bro, like I like. It's sad. I get it, but you still knew right from wrong. Just like even you, like you still know right from wrong. Because once you know Jesus, once you know God, you know right from wrong, and you have that conviction. So I don't see that. Not that you're using that as an excuse, but I still like too many people use that as an excuse. And maybe I'm wrong, bro. And that's why I love the podcast. I've been doing podcasts so long because I'll say something, and a year later I go, "Oh, I was wrong," and I get it. And I one thing I learned about podcasts is I learn, and it's like my therapy. Where like, okay, you know what, like. I sounded dumb that a year ago, So I when you said that, I would like a better understanding on that.
Well, like with therapy, like I'm not saying that I cheated because of things that happened. No, I had a choice, and I chose to do that. What therapy helped me with is why was I like that? Because my brothers are faithful to their wives. My brothers have been married for a long time, and I want to know why aren't I like that? Like what happened to me? You know what I mean? And like going to therapy kind of just helped me. It helped me get through a lot of that stuff, and I can't blame that for why I cheated because I wanted to cheat. I cheated because at the time that's where the way my mind was. It was fixed that way. You know what I mean? And I think God. One thing I do want to say too, I want to mention because you brought something to remembrance right now. Is that who better to learn from somebody who messed up sometimes? You know what I mean? Who better to learn than from a backslider?
Ain't that what the whole Bible is?
Yeah.
Ain't that what the whole Bible? The whole Bible is homies that messed up.
Yeah. Because there's a story that I want to that's a message I want to put together. It was of Aaron. Aaron was Moses' right hand man, and Aaron he was in charge of the children of Israel when Moses.
Was that his brother, Aaron?
Yeah. He was the one that went and spoke for him in front of Pharaoh because Moses couldn't talk.
Stutters.
Yeah, so Moses went up to go get the 10 Commandments. When he's up there on the mountain, his brother was in charge, and all of a sudden the children of Israel he's been gone so long, he's probably dead. We need to do something. So Aaron allowed them to create images with their jewelry.
False idols.
Yeah, they created a calf, and then they were celebrating, they were worshiping this calf, and all of a sudden Moses comes down the mountain, and he's like, "What the heck is going on here?" And then Aaron's like, "I didn't know what to do."
Yeah.
Like he allowed him, and he was in charge. So in a sense, like he was responsible for what the children had did because he could have put a stop to it. Well, later on, Aaron is named the high priest. He's the one that prays in the Holy of Holies for the people of God. I think that God allowed him to go through that, or he went through that so that he could relate to the people instead of being judgmental towards them.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could relate to the people when they come with their sin instead of judging them, because if you ain't never backslid before, you ain't gonna know how it feels. You
Ain't
know what
that why the whole point why God sent Jesus over here to get an understanding of us more.
Yeah.
Because God can't
relate to us.
Because God can't be around sin. So He goes, let me send my son over there, get a better understanding.
Yeah, imagine.
And that's why we have grace.
Yeah.
That's why we are forgiven, because of Jesus came down to see like our faults.
You know, like my story reminded me a lot of when the woman got caught in the act of adultery, and they brought it before Jesus.
Yeah.
And then he says, you know, go and sin no more. After he told the man, you know, unless he was
Cast
without
the first
sin.
stone.
So like I was kind of put in that same situation, and God had mercy on me in that situation.
You know, I never, you know, that story, because I first of all, those that don't read the Bible has the best stories.
Yeah.
Trip as novellas all day. I trip out because nobody ever talks about the man doing adultery. Like they had these two dudes being perverts looking in the window at this with
peeping Tom.
Yeah, peeping. They had two peeping Toms who were being perverts for one thing, and they see this girl with this guy, and she's the only one that's getting in trouble. Like, what about this dude? Like,
where's he at?
Like, how come this? Why don't you want to throw stone at this dude? Or how about these two perverts looking like how long were you guys watching for?
Yeah.
Like, so I always like. I like
the
not
backstory.
Not that I love questioning the Bible.
Oh, that's interesting though.
But I always like, I go, like,
why isn't the guy there with her?
Fool, like I go, like, she's not. You're the one that's married, fool. Like, you're married. She's not even married.
Yeah.
She's just doing her job.
Yeah.
Like, she's a prostitute.
That's funny.
You know, so I always see like this dude should have been up there too.
Yeah.
You know, but I love this conversation, ladies. I'm really excited for this, because they're just like lazy. This is one of his stories, and I have my stories. Our guests coming on, you're gonna learn a lot from these guests that we come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be always heavy and
Nah.
but it's gonna be fun at the same time.
It's gonna be balanced.
It's gonna be a good balanced show, like, you know, like the OG Street Scholars.
And here's the thing, like Rocky's freaking hilarious, and if you want to get a good laugh, but also if you want to learn something, man, if you want some content and something that you can chew on later, then we're gonna put it out there for you. It's up to you whether and also life experiences for you guys to be able to, the Bible says that a person learns from mistakes, but it says a wise man learns from somebody else's mistakes. You know what I mean? So,
that's what I say, that the whole anyway, like, I always trip out like people that don't read the Bible. Well, like, that you're a Christian or the Bible says this. I go, man, everybody like wrote the Bible besides red writing, like Samuel, like all Saul, all these guys, Paul, like they're saying what not to do. Like, bro, don't do what I do. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
They don't say that, but pretty much I go, man, like, and I always read the story, like, man, like, even because they're like, they talk to God, they're with God. I go, man, like, you're still like, I don't get you, like, but that's us every day though. Like, we know God and God's with us, maybe, and we still mess up every day. It is what it is. So.
Hey, Dracula got saved?
Dracula?
I just watched the movie the other day. It's dope.
Wait, Dracula?
The movie Dracula. Have you seen it? It's a new movie that just came out, bro.
I seen it.
The new one.
Dracula.
The new movie.
No,
just out. There's a movie out.
Saved?
Bro, in the movie he gets saved. I swear. You gotta watch it. It's pretty good.
God is good.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about like
Dracula's getting saved.
Bro, that's like there's a revival going on.
What is it on Netflix?
No, it's in the theaters.
Really?
Bro, go watch it with your lady, bro.
Okay.
Go watch it. It's like a love story. The reason why it tells how he became Dracula, why he became Dracula, how it happened, how he got cursed. Right? He was cursed by God.
Oh.
Yeah, because they took his love away from him. I don't want to blow the story.
Yeah, don't do it.
But in the end, he ends up getting saved.
You know what? Because even when we don't talk, like, there's questions that I have so much about, like you don't have to answer right now, because we're gonna get really into these conversations about this, because you know me, I got questions.
Yeah.
I read it and go, like, for instance, like, why God kicked the devil out and 33% of the angels out of heaven, right?
1/3, yeah.
1/3, 33%, and He sends them down here with us.
Mm-hmm. No, He put them down first.
Okay.
Way before.
But He put us with them.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're with them.
Yeah.
And then He takes Jesus from us. Bro, like, we'll keep Jesus, you keep the devil. Like, come on. Like,
well,
so I don't understand that. I just don't.
This is what
you're going to answer it?
No, I'm going to try it. I'm going to I can't answer the whole thing like that. But look, the thing that I know is that God already had His angels. And they were sinless. Like, they didn't have sin.
Yeah.
But Satan allowed sin because of his pride, because he wanted to be like God. It talks about that in the book of Ezekiel. It talks about a couple different chapters of the Bible, the Old Testament. Where he was Lucifer. He was part of the choir.
He was like a beautiful angel with music, right?
Yeah. He was in charge of the music ministry. But God had His angels already. And then he created man, and it says he made us in his image, but he gave us the body, he gave us the flesh, what the angels don't have because they're spirit. And I feel like he didn't want robots. He wanted people to choose between good, free will. Here's good and here's bad. So when Adam and Eve were there and they chose to do that, they kind of set us up for failure, of course, because then sin entered the world for us. And then we had a choice. We still have a choice. You know what I mean? You can choose. And I chose evil for a long time, bro. Me and you both, we chose the simple life that we were living. Okay.
Nah, that's right. Yeah.
But we were able to see the benefits and the not benefits of it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're choosing good now, man. We're choosing to serve God because we want to, not because we have to. You know what I mean?
And I love that about free will. Like, and people say, well, if there's a God, why is this happening? And this happening because people are choosing
evil, bro.
People are choosing, and unfortunately, more people are choosing evil these days. Yeah, I feel like it is.
So you understand what I'm saying though? Like, God wanted people that were gonna be in heaven with Him that were made a decision to, and they didn't just have one way to go. Yeah. There was two doors right there. Which one? Wide is a path that leads to destruction, but narrow is a path that leads to a life.
Would you say because the devil is so good with musicians? Oh yeah. Would you say he's in charge of the industry right now to this day? For 100%. And that's why the music is so raunchy. It talks about gangster rap, killing people, or girls talking about twerking and sex, and that's his way. The devil's still controlling it
big time,
a lot, and people don't see that. That's why Hollywood's so messed up. It's so messed up. So when he
uses something that your flesh likes, music.
100%. You
know, it's just like any other thing. He'll use alcohol, use drugs.
For example, if I put on like some Brother Lynch Hung, I'm showing my age, yeah, or like Spice One,
Tupac,
or like Bone Thugs and Harmony, it takes me back to like a 1994, like an era where I was just like, it creates something in your mind where you kind of get in a zone a little bit and you
triggers
start,
it.
A lot. But when I play worship music, like you kind of behave what you're gonna listen to a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So a lot of time I just have worship music on, it soothes me. I love it. And I try to stay. It's hard because you're on Earth, but I think music is a huge thing.
The only time that I listen to, like, I'm not even crazy. I have the gym. Yeah, bro.
Well, so if I'm doing bench day and I'm trying to bench a lot, I got some AC/DC on. I got some hard rock metal on, But if my wife sees me the other day,
Tupac,
I'll be playing worship music and I'll be in a treadmill running and I'll be like praying my hand. I'm gonna fall. Like, hold on, like player. But I'm excited for Street Scholars, man. We have a lot of things coming on. Guys, make sure you not just listen to this. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. It's free. Make sure you follow so you get every episode. We're starting from scratch with 0 subscribers.
Wow.
And we thought
journey.
Yeah, and we thought like the old one got taken away. And we're trying to get it back. And he still might get it back, but I was kind of lazy. He told me the same thing. I talked to Prophet Rob, and he was just like, I think God wants you a fresh start.
Yeah.
I think he wants you to do it his way. He doesn't want that old content up there. He wants a different content. He don't want that on his channel because this is his channel. This is his podcast, and he don't want that on his stuff. So I think he just wanted his way.
Yeah.
And you said that story about the army, about the counting of soldiers and our subscribers and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm. They would trust in the numbers, and God told them, don't trust in the numbers, man. You got to leave room for Him.
Yeah. I don't care about your old numbers and your subscribers and so on. Like, I got you. Yeah. I say you're going to have victory, so you're going to have victory. Yeah. Don't worry about your subscribers.
Yeah, because whoever it reaches, that's who needs to hear it. Mm-hmm. You know, see, just like when I have the group, and before I was worried in the beginning, I was like, damn, there's a lot of people showing up, and then God says, not about the numbers.
Real fast. Talk about your Bible study real fast before we end.
We don't call it Bible study, we call it men's group.
I love that. Can nobody ever start, like, when I first started a Christian, I started going to Bible study, I'll take a notepad, like, we're going to study the Bible. Like, okay, like, let's study the Bible and take notes. It just, like, Bible study, and no disrespect to Bible study, because it's not Bible study.
Yeah.
But it's amateur night for pastors.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, okay, I'm gonna have a Bible study. Yeah. You're at the platform. It's yours. It's amateur night. It's amateur night for the pastor. Do your thing. That's why I look at it.
Yeah, no, you're
I
right.
thought it'd be like, okay, we're really gonna dive into the Bible and study.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
So it's called what?
It's just called a men's group, and it was something that God put in my heart to do because I know a lot of guys, a lot of men, and He wanted me to open up my shop. So I did. I mean, I was at first I was just like I was like, man, there's a need here. Like there's people that are missing that should be here, which was like the homies. You know what I mean? Like where they at? I don't see them here. You know, and I know that they're human. I know that they go through stuff too. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna have it at the church, and I'm not gonna call it Bible study, and I'm not even gonna invite people from the church. I'm gonna invite people that I know, my homies, my friends that need to hear it.
You don't want to preach to the choir.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like they go and they get fed, they're cool, but this is for people that don't go to church. This is the only Jesus they're probably gonna see or hear about. So I just started getting on my phone and I just started telling all my clients, a lot of my homies, friends, like I got a lot of good camaradas, you know what I mean? So I just started hitting them up. Hey, check out, we're gonna have a men's group. There's a chance where we're gonna be able to talk about some real stuff. We're gonna be able to talk about stuff that we go through as men. And they were interested because a lot of people are battling their own demons and they know what I've been through. They know what I was going through, you know what I mean?
Learn through your mistakes once again.
Yeah.
Like,
and
hey, man, I did that.
We've been going for about a good 7 months now, 8 months almost. And we just had my boy Guerrero Fitness.
He's been on Street Scholars before.
Yeah. So we just had him come we'd meet every other Thursday right here in the city, West Covina. And if you're interested, you guys can hit me up on the DM. And we just had 65, 70 men at the last one.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
We needed standing. We couldn't even fit them in the shop.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
bro.
it was awesome, and God moved, and a lot of men were touched, and you know I'm excited because
keep buying more chairs, huh?
You know what's yeah, bro. every other we had to go to Costco buy 10 more. It was crazy. $200 every freaking.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what excites me now, because the things that used to excite me don't, like partying and drinking, female, that doesn't excite me no more. Now it's seeing the change, that they come back with their praise reports and how God is using them, because it's like there's a scripture that says, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. But I say that you save the shepherd and the sheep will be saved too. You know what I mean? Reverse that, where it's like, okay, the enemy can do that, but we're God's hands, and we can also help the head of the household, because there's statistics show that when the head of the household is saved or goes to church, and the rest of the majority of the time, the family will come in afterwards, you know?
My pastor, Pastor Will, he's gonna come on a podcast. He speaks super well. He left the church where I go to in Bakersfield, and the new pastor, I just wasn't, not that I'm judging, but I just wasn't feeling him. I mean, sometimes you don't feel the pastor, you know? Yeah. And so we're kind of church shopping in the area, and I just couldn't find nothing. And we just ended up not going to church for the last couple months because I wasn't going to church. And I felt like, hold on, like, because I stopped going to church. My wife stopped going to church, and her kids stopped going to church. Yeah. And I felt like I'm the man. I need to lead my family to church. Thank God we found an amazing church, and we're in love with it. It was so good. Like for my wife, the Holy Spirit hit her where she just melted and just bawled out. It was such a strong word, worship, and well, this is our church. Like, this is amazing. So I'm just glad. But I just showed you how you said be the man. Yeah. Because you're gonna lead
the way.
You have to do.
Dude, like now, presently with my relationship, we're good, man. Like she's involved. She goes to women's groups now. She's supportive of of me going to men's groups or having. She cooks at my man for all the men. She's there. Like she sees the fruit.
That's awesome.
She was a big doubter at first, but it's the power of God, bro. The transforming power of the Holy Spirit. That by the power of God, that's the only reason why that we're together right now. Because after getting caught in a situation like that wasn't just. I got caught countless times.
Yes.
That was just the time getting caught in the act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's only God that my life has been who I am today. And I say that I have integrity and I have, before the Lord.
When you wake up, it's more joy, right?
Yeah. You know what's crazy is now I feel like I'm finally living my life.
At peace?
I felt like at peace and there's fulfillment. Because he said, I come to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. I didn't understand what that meant. He gives it to you in your fullness. Because I had all these toys, I had the home, I had everything, but I never got a chance to enjoy those things. You know, I never got a full. I wake up late. I wake up at 5 in the morning now, bro. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Call me lazy, bro.
You ain't sleepy.
I will go to sleep at that time.
Yeah.
But he gives you it back in abundance. You know, where you get your full. If you guys wanted, it's out there for you guys, man. It's available.
Yeah, he's not selling. You're not selling anything to you. Like
I'm trying to sell it to
you. You just say, "Look, bro, I've been there. Bro. I've been with a lot of girls. I've been in a lot of bars. It's just like this is different." And I try to. It's just more of a. There's one thing being happy. Oh, I'm happy I got these girls. I'm drinking, but to be joyful, it's just way different. I feel like it just only God could give you that joy and that peace. And our next guest guy, I think we're gonna have Sammy Sam on, and we see what he's done. 20 years in the strip club industry. Cocaine, girls, like I mean, just everything. Like you would think like this. Why would you give that up for? You give a lot of money, and I don't want to say his testimony, but he prayed to God about some things, and obviously God delivered, but God gave him more than he even asked for.
I'm happy. I seen that on social media and I couldn't believe it. You know, I haven't talked to Sammy like as much as I did before. We talk once in a while, but just coming across his profile, he does some really. Before he used to be some really funny.
I had him on mute for a long time. No, I got no, not. And he knows it.
Raunchy, huh?
No, yeah, because I was married and always showing his strip clubs and these girls and like I'm in the flesh, like, you know, to like even I'll be honest, like I was on TRT for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think being married on TRT could be somewhat dangerous if you're not like sold in, because you do walk around like a 21-year-old with an erection. Like
in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, it could be dangerous because you're like, oh, like, you know, it's just like, I don't know if that's good for like a, you know, mid-40 type of dude.
Walking coat rack or what?
100%. But I told Sam, like, hey, bro, I mute you. But now, like, he's not on mute anymore. I see a story.
Nah, what I meant is he's whether it's good or bad, he's inspiring. Or he's
100%.
freaking funny, dude. Like I trip out in his posts sometimes, and even now they're like the whole not brinking one with his dog. That one put probably even a tear to my eye, bro. You know what I mean? When I seen you.
Yeah,
know?
his story, I know more of it, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and tell it.
Yeah.
About his daughter being a teenager now and so on and so on. It just his testimony is just it's really good. We have so many people coming on, guys. But hey, man, hey, lady, I think it's gonna be a good chapter for Street Scholars.
Heck yeah.
I think we're gonna do a lot, guys. Make sure you tell a friend. Do me a favor. Forward this to 3 friends right now.
Yeah.
Let's get a jump start.
Somebody
With
needs to
that
hear
being
it.
said, we are out.
Outro.
What do you think, Jerry?